Hello and welcome to M45, which is water pollution laws. So, some of the laws that you guys should know for APES is the Clean Water Act. So, that was established in 1972. And here you can see on the top picture the Cuyahoga River. And that was the river that was so polluted from all the runoff that they were discharging into the river that actually caught on fire. They didn't light it on fire, it actually just caught on fire, kind of like a wildfire, except for on the river. So it's kind of sad. But that was in part one of the reasons why this Clean Water Act was established. And then we were starting to understand the environment a lot more and understanding fish and spawning and things like that. And just it wasn't working. So a lot of organisms were dying. And so they developed this Clean Water Act to establish protocol for keeping things clean. So it's set up to protect fish, shellfish, and water for human use, so that we don't have such polluted water. All right, and then the Safe Drinking Act, Water Act. So this was established. There were several different times it was established. So it was originally established in 1974, and then modified in 86 and 96. And so basically, we continue to modify it as we understand more about human health and more about what is needed in the water to keep it safe. So there's 77 different elements that they look at. This is on the left, just an example. So these are some of the major things that would cause harm to humans. But you can see Giardia, 0. So there can't be any in the water whatsoever. Fecal coliform, which can also cause massive intestinal problems. And so that would be 0 as well. Arsenic, 10. So obviously arsenic is not safe, but at 10 parts per billion, it doesn't pose a big risk or a significant risk to humans. And then there's mercury, benzene, and atrazine. So these are just different chemicals, examples. Those are the major things. And then there's 77 other different things that they test for. So the leading cause of polluted waterways in the U.S., wetlands. We've got organic enrichment. So that would be like fertilizer running off from the land. And then we've got mercury, arsenic, selenium. Some of these things like mercury would be from burning fossil fuels, whereas arsenic would be coming from the ground. So then sources, it lists agriculture. So that would be our organic enrichment. ATM stands for atmosphere. So atmospheric deposition. And that would be like mercury, sulfuric dioxide, stuff like that coming down from precipitation. And that would be ultimately from burning fossil fuels. And then I listed petroleum and natural gas production as well. So that's mainly the mercury and selenium. All right, streams and rivers. So cause of pollution in rivers and streams, bacterial pathogens. And that could be from runoff from the land, or it could just be naturally occurring. Sediment. So you can see in the picture on the left, lots of sediment from that river, dumping into the probably the ocean there. And then excess nutrients. So this could also be mixed in with the sediment, and that would be from excess fertilizer from land, things like that. And then the sources, of course, like I said, agriculture, atmospheric deposition. So things falling out of the atmosphere in rain. And then water diversion. So you can see the middle picture is or the picture on the right is water diversion. So it's like an artificial waterway. And then dam construction. So all those things can cause pollution to the rivers. All right, and then if we look at lakes, ponds, and reservoirs, the causes of any kind of pollution that we see there, mercury, PCBs, which are used in plastics, and then nutrients. So that would be like runoff again from fertilizer, from lawns or wherever. So sources, atmospheric deposition, and agriculture. Bays and estuaries. So you can see here is some major runoff, and this could cause eutrophication. So like we talked about with the waterways. So if this were nutrients running into the water, then that could cause an algal bloom in this area. So potentially we have algal bloom here. And then as that nutrients fades away, then the algae dies, and it causes there to be less oxygen. And so as things die, or it could just be that maybe it's continuing to run off, and that creates a lot of organic material and the algae continues to grow. So maybe it doesn't die off. And that would block the sunlight for the organisms that are shallow. So this could be, if this was the ocean, maybe this could be coral, or plants or something that's attached to the ground that can't move. And so it's depleted of sunlight. So the sources are atmospheric deposition again. So you can see that's a common thing for everything. Municipal discharges. So that would be like sewage running off, or from the land, from your yard or whatever. All right. And that's it. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.